pretty nervous. But I'm Lauren. What's up?
Hey.
I don't really do a lot of stand-up, but you know, when I do, meaning just tonight, a lot of my jokes revolve around being gay, and a lot of people are like, oh, like Lauren, if all you talk about is being gay, like how is anyone supposed to get to know you? And fair point, but I don't know if you've met a gay in your life, but that's kind of all we are. Just a little bit. Okay, ask me my favorite show.
What's your favorite show?
Thank you. It's a tie between Orphan Black and The 100, and they both have lesbians in them. What's my favorite sport? All of them, because I'm really gay. Like, what's my favorite artist? Tegan and Sarah. That's a lie. My favorite artist is Taylor Swift, which is a pretty straight girl answer, but when I sleep with her, yes, full circle. So, I was trying to go through events of what I could talk about, because like I said, I haven't done this before, and I was thinking about people normally take from like real life events and turn them into a story, and I was like, I can do that. My life is a series of unfortunate events, but not unfortunate enough that like I can be a good poet or like a good painter or something, but like unfortunate enough that my YouTube channel, because I have a YouTube channel, gets like 10 or 20 views on a good day. So I'm going through events in my mind, and I'm like coming out to a disapproving family. It's a little too real. My first rejection. It's a little too straight. Going through 9 years of Catholic not middle school, 9 years of Catholic school in general, maybe could make for some interesting tales. But I decided to settle on the first time I had a crush on a girl in middle school. It encompasses everything you know and love: homophobia, Catholicism, unfortunate plaid skirts, and Katy Perry. Which really should have been like the giveaway that this wouldn't work out, but whatever. To start off, like getting into the vibe of what middle school Lauren was like, I was really bad at like romance and like anything, as all middle schoolers are, but just like recognizing it. So for example, there was this 8th grade pool party, and I went with some of my friends, and I was in like 6th or 7th grade, but they were older than me, and we all got like pina coladas and strawberry daiquiris, and we were like chilling in the hot tub, and there was this guy there, and I think he was attractive. I'm honestly not too sure, but my mouth got really dry, and it was getting harder to breathe, and I was like, whoa, like this must be what a crush is like this, obviously I like this boy. It turns out I'm allergic to pineapple. I was having an allergic reaction to pina colada. So that's how that went. But I was about 12 or 13 when I realized that I had my first crush on a girl, and again realized, because like the patriarchy and forced heteronormativity, but more about like men later. And so I just really wanted to have my love blossom like Troy and Gabriella from High School Musical, because High School Musical was my favorite movie. I say was, it still is my favorite movie, and I just wanted to like desperately fall in love with this girl during our winter musical, you know? And I actually did get a part in the musical. Thank you. I got part of Marty, who's like the big slut who sleeps around with all the guys. I still think to this day that my mom had like a weird way in casting that to try and like force me to at least pretend I liked guys. It didn't really work. But back to my in denial middle school self. I definitely wasn't gay. Nope, not me, not certified heterosexual who wore their skirt, like wore their basketball jersey with their skirt on tag days. Do you guys know what tag days are?
No.
I'm gonna tell you, it's part of the joke. Tag days are like when you go to a school with a uniform or Catholic school, you can come to school in like street clothes, or more likely, you had to wear like your really awful plaid skirt with like a different t-shirt or like something to spice it up. And you had to bring in 25 cents or $1 if it was Lent, and they really wanted to like drive it home that Jesus died for you. You can give him $1, and it was supposed to go to like homeless shelters or like soup kitchens. But at the end of the year, when the priests all had new sports cars, I think we all knew, you know. And so I know it's hard to believe, but middle school me didn't have a whole lot of friends. I know. And but just in case you couldn't come up with some reasons, I'll give you some. I told everyone that Kevin Jonas was my favorite Jonas Brothers, which I would like to set the record straight. Nick Jonas has been and will always be my favorite Jonas Brother. I just felt bad for Kevin. We related. He was rejected a lot of his life. People like Frankie more than him, and you know that's when the bar is below. So I also voluntarily brought Vaseline to school to lube up my Rubik's Cubes, so I could solve better in competitions that I had with myself. So there was that. I only had 2 front braces on my front teeth, and the only choices left, yeah, just 2 guys. The only choices left were bright orange and bright green, which I guess no one else wanted because they didn't want to be a walking billboard for Nickelodeon. But I didn't really have an option. I also wore my skirt down to my ankles by choice and considered writing a letter to the uniform company when they got rid of the tie and the vest in the girls' uniform, which really should have been just like a heads up to everyone, like, oh, this person's a flaming queer, but like no one caught on. But so back to this girl, the original story. I had a really big crush on this girl. Obviously couldn't tell anyone, so I told everyone that I had a crush on this boy. And just so you get like a picture of what he looks like, he had the face of Ted Cruz, but the hair of Rod Stewart. So Ted Stewart, if you will. And he was really smart and nice and like attainable, so I set my sights on him. It helped a little that his sister was pretty cute and giving me these gay vibes, or what I defined then as alternative vibes. So I set my sights on him. We kept going. But this girl and I bonded over our love for Zac Efron. She really turns out later, she wanted to sleep with him. I wanted his haircut. I did what I wanted. She's still open. So right about that. And I went over her house after school, after basketball practice, and she was playing with makeup, and I was playing with her dad's clone. And Katy Perry was playing in the background, and like she was in love with Katy Perry. I don't care that much, but I wasn't about to make her shut off I Kissed a Girl. Like, it was really setting the mood, you know? And so we're talking about boys and makeup and shoes, all things I really couldn't relate to unless we were talking about the high top Nikes, and we really weren't 9 times out of 10. So we're at her house and we're playing Just Dance in her basement. It was hot and cold, in case you all were curious. At the end of the show, if you would like me to teach you, I will. I remember all of and so we're chilling in her basement, and she's like, Lauren, I heard of this really scary movie we could watch. Do you want to watch it together? And it should be known, I am terrified of scary movies. Was terrified, still am terrified. I'm just like a scared person in general. People used to, it was like a running joke all through middle school to come up behind me and like scream at me so my scream was heard down the hall. Like, so much so it was a game. If you reached the end of the hall and the teacher came out of the door, like you won the game. Like, that was the point. And she was an active participant in this, so she knew. But I knew what happened during scary movies. I watched my fair share of rom-coms. So like, I knew the whole like yawn and stretch and all the fancy moves. So I was like, me and her parents weren't home. So I was like, jackpot. And me and my little gay brain was like, I mean, sure, if you want to. I mean, that's fine. And so we turn off the TV, we go upstairs to her living room, and I'm sitting on the couch, and I'm shaking, like both at the idea that I'm gonna do something potentially gay and God's gonna strike me down right there, and then also that like I have to watch whatever the scary movie is that she's gonna pick out. And she's going through all her movies, and I'm sitting there shaking, and she pulls out Disney's Tower of Terror. I don't know if you've seen it, guys, but it's an unrated movie. So we really living the dream. And so we put it on, and I'm feeling a little bit more confident because, like, if any of you have seen Twitches,
yeah.
Yeah. Nice hands. Okay. So it's like the same scariness level as that, and I'm feeling like mildly confident. And I don't really remember a lot of like the exact details and the timings of everything, but at one point this ghost pops out and she turns and she like buries her head in my shoulder, and I think it was like the real moment I realized that was gay, because like Ted Stewart had never made me feel that way. So like we continue to watch the movie, and I think I'm killing it because I didn't even have to do the yawn and stretch. Like it was already put there for me. I'm like nailing this date, and I'm like, you know what, Lauren? You have to make a move. You're 12. When are you ever going to get a chance to make another move? Like, so I'm like, okay. And Catholic school moves count as like shaking a hand or like maybe like a high five. So I'm thinking about going for it. And all of a sudden her brother like comes out of nowhere and jumps on the couch and I screamed. If he was playing the game in middle school, he would have won, because like the neighbors heard me. So it's safe to say, I did ruin the mood, and it was back to going to Ted Stewart. So.